Hello, everybody. Get ready because we're about to take it to the mic. Um, since I guess I'm the only one here right now, I guess I'll just get right into it here. So on tonight's episode, we're going to be covering like I think about four stories I picked up on. You know, um, a couple of releases coming out. Um, couple releases coming out. A Ruby fan artist is now getting accused of some some nasty stuff, and we're gonna start it off with with Kevin Conroy, the famous voice of Batman from the DCAU. So without no further ado, let's get going here. Um, Kevin Conroy discusses his Crisis on Infinite Earths Batman cameo and addresses fan reaction. Um, After decades as the voice of Batman, basically since 1992, Kevin Conroy got his shot at playing the part in live action. That came on CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths, where he embodied a more broken down, unhinged Bruce Wayne than expected. Many were stunned. Conroy opened up about fan reaction to his Crisis appearance on Inside You with Michael Rosenbaum. Now, an interesting thing about Michael Rosenbaum, of course, has some DCU connections. In the DCAU, of course, he was the voice of Flash and Deadshot in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, as well as voicing Kid Flash in Teen Titans. And then he was also, of course, Lex Luthor in Smallville. So, um, the fans were not happy about that. He he said they didn't like seeing that version of Bruce Wayne. Um, but he adds the experience was fun for him. But for me, it was fun. It was a lot of fun to sort of stretch my acting chops a little bit. Conroy said. He said he also adds the process was abrupt and the notice was short. They didn't tell him at first what Batman he'd play. They didn't tell me anything about the Batman. He said they just said he was the Batman in the future and old Bruce Wayne. He recalled his conversation with the studio. I said, "You mean like in Batman Beyond, old Bruce Wayne?" They said, "No, he's not 80, but he's older and he's in bad shape." Um, Conroy then added the scripts were under lock and key. They're so guarded um, with their scripts. The studios they don't give them out. He said, so they didn't give me anything. Interestingly, Conroy tells Michael Rosenbaum this, the Smallville actor visiting his ailing grandfather at the time, receiving an 11th hour offer from the same people to reprise like Luthor, he turned it down. See if anybody's shown up yet. Nope, not yet. As I'm running a little late tonight. Give me a moment. I'm back. Oh, look like somebody came in and gave me a like. Thank you, whoever that was. Hello. Hey, Action Toy Channels. How you doing, man? Okay, so just to get you caught up a little bit on what's going on, I'm going over an article, basically an interview between Michael Rosenbaum and Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy talking about his live action appearance, somewhat reprising the role of Bruce Wayne. I'm good. Reprising the role of Bruce Wayne from the from the DCU DCAU. So I'm going over the interview right now. So here we go. Continuing on here. Um, Conroy wrapped up this by saying he was happy to be in front of the camera again. I got the script basically when I was about to get on a plane to fly to Vancouver to do the show. I hadn't seen anything. He recalled. I said yes because I was so excited to do something on camera again after 25 years. I guess he's been doing voice work for the last 25 years. I don't remember. He started doing a lot of DCAU stuff all the way back in '92, maybe even as early as '91, because the recording would have been months to a year ahead of the premiere. So um, Conroy turned out to be playing a combo of Kingdom Come Bruce Wayne and Dark Knight Rises Bruce, who succeeded in killing Superman. He then shared what it was like to wear the exoskeleton and work with Ruby Rose, aka I guess the current Batwoman, the current actress playing the Batwoman. I was in the suit of armor that was an external spine because his back um, had been broken by Superman. Um, he said, and I don't know that was going to happen. Well, also, in the comics, his back was also broken by Bane as well. So, you know. So, continuing on then. Now, mind you, this is an interview being conducted by Michael Rosenbaum, who has some DCU, DCAU credits to his name. Michael Rosenbaum was the voice of Flash and Deadshot in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. He was the voice of Kid Flash in Teen Titans, and he was Lex Luthor in Smallville. So, and Kevin Conroy, of course, has been synonymous with DCAU as the voice of Batman, from Batman the animated series all the way up to Justice League Unlimited and throughout some of the corresponding movies. So, anyways, so back to the article here. Everything, including the darkness, took him by surprise. I didn't know I was going to try and kill Supergirl, Conroy continued. He was dark. He was dark. The producer was great. The cast, Ruby Rose, everybody was fantastic, wonderful to work with. He concluded, but they do like a movie a week. It's a massive undertaking. It was worth it to see Conroy in live action as Batman for once. Fans may have reacted negatively to his dark turn, but I think they were more upset by him being emasculated and killed off for Batwoman to become the paragon of courage. Yeah, I mean the whole right now, the whole SJW push, the whole like women strong, men weak kind of narrative. Um, and that twist, exalting Kate Kane in the mantle of Gotham's Guardian was undone by Ruby Rose leaving the show, which suffers in the ratings in the first place, and a new character being cast, so it was really for nothing. Kevin Conroy carries on his life's work as Batman, narrating the new comics continuing the saga of Batman the Animated Series. Um, Batwoman returns in January with a clean slate and Javicia Leslie now in the lead of Ryan Wilder, who steals and inherits the Batsuit. Okay, yes, that's so yeah, so I guess this was a movie they were planning to do as um part of the CW, the DC CW verse universe, I guess. Oh, I guess no further comment from Action Toy Channels yet, or anybody else who's come in yet. Let's see. Nope, still we're right there. Oh crud! Did I just? Why did I do that? Calm down, calm down. All right, I basically closed myself out there for some unknown reason. Getting everything back into place here. Just listening to you read. Well, I hope I'm providing some good information for you, my friend. I hope I'm just providing some good information for you. What I always like to do. Okay, so now we're done with that article. Um, so Action Toy Channels. Did you grow up watching Batman the animated series back in the '90s? Did you grow up watching the DCA youth at the '90s and 2000s? Okay, well, if you now can respond, I guess I'll move on to the next article then. Let's see. Okay, so here's the next article we're going to look at from the anime section here. Ruby fan artist accused of blanking minors for blanking minors for Ruby Honkai Impact third crossover edit. So a Ruby fan artist has been accused of P to the E to the D to the O and blankalizing minors. Um, this comes after the artist published an edit of the series' main character in the outfit of a different character from Honkai Impact the Third. And this is I guess the this is the artwork right here. Now, in my opinion, I don't think this is not worth getting that upset about. This doesn't seem all that out of line to me. But on um, on August 13th, fan artist Sombrella posted a fan edit they had made, which featured Ruby's titular Ruby. Um, Here, Ruby is wearing the outfit from Honkai Impact 3's Rita Roseweiss. Do you know about Honkai Impact Third? I love it. Ruby edit. Kind of a cute little maid outfit there. I don't see anything wrong with that. Anybody who's thinking that that's being considered quote unquote exualized or blankalized or whatever, I think they're more projecting than anything else. It would seem. Honkai Impact the Third is a popular mobile gacha role-playing game in which players attempt to protect humanity from extinction by controlling teams of female Valkyries in a battle against monsters. Those creatures are spawned from a malevolent force known as Honkai. Its mashup edit was presumably inspired by the fact that both Ruby and Rita wield large scythes as their primary weapons. And again, what here's here's the here's the thing about all the stink about a lot of these white knighters and a lot of these SJWs and all this outcry over this stuff. They seem to forget that a lot of these characters, aside from the fact that they're drawings, okay, they're not real people, but these characters, even if they are quote unquote underage or minors, quote unquote. By the way, underage and minors are actually legal definitions. They're not actual definitions. You know, the more legal definitions, but you know, and so it's subject to interpretation depending upon the world you're in. Maybe in the world that these characters are in, they are of legal age, even if they are under the age of 18. Granted, maybe in the real world, 18 is considered the um, universal consent age or across the board. Oh, you're an adult if you're 18 and older, but it's not necessarily true. You have in many of these animes and video games and stuff like that, you have characters who range from 14 to 17 to 18, basically, who do incredible things, who handle adult situations. So excuse me a moment so I can turn on my light. That's just my take on all the outcry about, oh, you're exploiting minors, you're exploiting underage girls. You know, you're a P to the E to the D to the O. Let's see what you have to say here. I watched the animated series. Okay, so you're answering the question. I don't get why people are getting so upset over Japanese cartoons. Uh, I think that's the $1 million question right there, Action Toy Channels. That's a $1 million question right there. I'm sure Tug, Yellow Flash, Hero Hey, many of the anime and cartoon YouTubers would basically be asking the same thing. It's like people look, they're you know, one, they're cartoons. They're in a totally different world than ours. Okay, you know, we can't exactly sit there and project our our mores onto another world. So I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous. Canada is a crazy place. Age of consent is 14 years age to get a driver's license, 16 age to drink, 18. It's kind of weird. Well, I heard too in Canada, across the whole country, it's 16 is also the age of consent for, you know, but there are parts in the, there, it's kind of funny. Everybody thinks that 18 is this magical age that, you know, excuse me a second. Sorry about that. I thought my dad called me. Hey, hey, just got home. So making food. I'll be listening. All right. Well, you only missed one story. I went over an interview done by Michael Rose. Hey, anonymity, by the way. Sorry. Um, I went over an interview with about between Michael Rosenbaum and Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy responding to appearing in live action as Batman, as Bruce Wayne in the CW Crisis on Infinite. I went over that article. Right now, I'm going over this article. A Ruby fan artist basically being accused of P to the E to the D to the O, and and blankalizing minors. So, uh, let's see. As soon as your body goes through a, yeah, I mean, I've seen 20-year-olds do stupider stuff than my 8 year olds. Yeah, I mean, there's the thing, here's the thing about all the outcry and outrage over this kind of thing too. It's like there are parts of the world, you know, the whole concept of underage and minor, those are more legal definitions, legal terms than um than actual terms, you know, because I mean, and it is kind of dumb to, and it is kind of dumb to just it is kind of dumb to just put your values on another situation like that. That's like a totally different world, you know. Um, but it's like they automatically think that if you're, it doesn't matter how old you actually are. If you're under the age of 18, you're just too naive and stupid to know what's going on. It's like 16. It's like to them, 16 and 17-year olds have the same awareness as a 7-year old. And that's the stupid thing about all this. You know, that's how a lot of these people when they do this, when they have all this outcry over this stuff, that's basically what they're saying. They think that 16, 7-year olds have the same mindset or judgment of 7-year olds. You know, now granted, sometimes they do as action toy channels. There's sometimes when some 20-year olds have the judgment of a 5-year old. Okay, but but that's not par for the course, as it were. So, anyways, to continue on with the article, then. Um, Now, mind you, I don't get really the outcry over it because when I looking at the here's I guess the here's the pick that really I guess is the one that they're really talking about. Now, to me, that's not all that bad. I don't really think there should have been an uproar for this. I mean, this isn't that bad. But anyways, so continuing on with the article, due to the barest amount of cleavage presented in the edit, Umbrella was soon descended upon by Ruby fans who accused the artist of blankalizing a minor due to Ruby's canonical age being at most 17. So, yeah, she's 17, which means she's almost going to depend. In fact, depending upon what the age of consent in her world is, she may be considered an adult. There are some states that would actually consider her an adult. There are some countries that would actually consider her an adult already. Oh, I mean, but you know what how the saying goes, guys. Ignorance is bliss, right? Shouldn't they want to make the age of consent like 25 or whatever? Well, it does seem that way. I mean, the whole part of Obamacare of having your kids stay on until they're 26. I mean, you know, only people offended are the real hosts. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it turns out they're projecting a bit action toy channels. I'm loving the Uzaki-chan girls defending her against the SJW crowd. Yeah, I saw that earlier. I saw Yellow Flash's video on that earlier, and that was pretty good to see. It's good. It's good to see people starting to clap back against some of this baloney. If we could just clap back enough to get them back into their closets and just dwell in the little corners of their closets instead of okay. So that one. Anyway, so back to the article then. Um, Many users attempted to criticize Umbrella by merely pointing out that the fictional Ruby is a minor. Dude, she's a minor. Y'all need to chill. I don't get that statement, but another user hit a similar point. Bro, she's a minor. Who says she's a minor though? Maybe in parts of America she might be considered a minor. Maybe in some parts of the world she's considered a minor. There are other parts of the world, maybe in her world she's considered an adult. That ever cross your mind? One Ruby fan felt that this edit is too much. They couldn't. I get that this is a homage to the character in Honkai, but that character is not a minor. So it's okay to have an outfit that's a bit blankalizing. Can't say the same for Ruby though. Again, minor is more of a legal definition. And who's to say in the world of Ruby that she is considered a minor? It's like, oh boy, we've said this before too, guys. Context matters, right? Context matters. they shouldn't look at some Middle Eastern countries. Then, yeah, because because I actually did a little research on age of consent around the world. Now, from what I understand, some of it may have changed more recently, but back in 2014, I did some research on it just because of the Millie Makara incident. But it's just amazing at how people one are ignorant of laws around the world and of different cultures and perspectives, and two thinking that like one size fits all. But anyways, NJW movement should just be considered the coming out movement. Why? Because if you're against it, it's mostly because you've done it. You make a very interesting statement there. Actually, it's almost like you're saying maybe they're trying to find their redemption for their past sins. There, huh? That could be a way of saying the point you're making there. It's like they're ashamed that they were involved in it, so now they got to redeem themselves. So now they got to yell the loudest about it. So let's see. The only people watching Ruby anymore are the radical shippers that put everyone down for not agreeing with me. Yeah, I mean, I might have checked it out if I had learned about it sooner, before Vic got fired, you know. Um, now granted, you're probably right in that anonymity, but I think with one exception, I'm not completely sure, but Hiro Hay may still watch it, you know, but I don't know 100% for sure or not because I know he was a big fan of it. Um, um, yeah, Rooster Teeth destroyed it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so back to the article here. One Ruby fan felt that this edit is too much. They continue. Oh, okay. Actually, I'm sorry. I read that part already. And the tweet was from Chris BLM at SHSL Chris. Okay. User Moss Stone 2 claimed that this is blankalizing a minor and it's wrong because doing this normalizes blankalizing minors. Again, from the context of our world, maybe it is, and even in some parts of our world, it's not. I know I'm just repeating myself here, but I mean, context matters, people. In the world of Ruby, in the world of Ruby, you know, maybe she's considered an adult. They did not occur to you. I know a lot of people like to think 18 is like the magical universal age of consent, but it's not. It's not. Oh boy. They added that pushing back against like minded critics was also just normalizing this mess. Another user, um, Amenity Entity is in Love 3, replied, "This is really gross." Could they be projecting a little bit? I don't know. Curiously, Ruby fans have not widely criticized Yang's original outfit, which has, as you can see, was arguably more revealing than Rita's. Another good point, and that's kind of the point I was making at the beginning too. The outfit really wasn't. I don't think well, criticism wasn't necessary for that. But look at that, guys. Now they're saying that's a little more. I guess if this is Yang right here, that might be a little more revealing. But again, it's like, how do you know she's considered a minor in the world she's from? You ding dongs. Okay. However, Umbrella conversely received an outpouring of support from fans who were able to separate fiction from reality, as many pushed back against critics and responded to her edits with words of encouragement. One user, Garavan131982, um, said, "Thank you. I have I have waited for this kind of art. Ruby cosplaying a character that is so similar to her, except the maid part. Laugh out loud." And I guess his real name is Graven Lupus there. But yeah, and think about that. I mean, I don't know if you guys been to conventions before. I've been to conventions, and there have been some who are quote unquote underage who have dressed in pretty risque costumes. I mean, the whole video of Vic talking to that little girl who was cosplaying Wonder Woman. There's an example. It's like everybody was upset at Vic for making that comment, but yet why wasn't anybody getting on the parents about letting their child out and something like that? You know, you would think that if their parents let them, especially if they knew Wonder Woman's publishing history. But anyways, the terrible animation of Ruby got me disinterested, so I never bothered to watch it. I quite honestly, I didn't. I'd never even really heard of Ruby until the whole um, Vic scandal, whatever you want to call it, started up. I had never even heard of Ruby. I might have like seen it listed on some of the sites I've seen, but I never really knew what it was. In fact, I didn't even up until the Vic situation started. I didn't even know it was pronounced as Ruby. So that shows you how in the dark I am on that. Okay. Everything about Ruby I know from Hero Hey. Yeah, I would say pretty much the same sentiment there, and then a lot of what I know about Ruby, about Rooster Teeth is from Hero Hayes coverage. Let's see. I get ready to continue on here. Um, give me a sec, guys. I need to just step this come off screen for a moment. Okay, so here we go. Aquil Hudson 99 said, "Nice work on this. Can't wait to see you do more outfits like this for other girls." In a follow up tweet, they continued, "Also, to the people complaining she's a minor, just stop. It's been how long now? There's a crap there's a mess ton of Ruby R34 out there, aged up and or not, but her in a maid outfit, that's crossing the line if you don't If you don't like it, don't look at it. That simple. Yeah, I have to kind of agree with that sentiment because it's like I mean I showed you guys the picture earlier of what I think they were talking about there. It is kind of ridiculous that all these people complaining about it are just over the top. So user Abia shot back against the outrage by saying, "To you guys claiming this is blankalizing Ruby, it's just a corset, skirt, and stockings. Ruby's always worn that, so why is it suddenly bad now? This isn't anywhere near blankalizing." And I agree with that sentiment too. It's like it's a maid outfit. Okay, what are you gonna get? I guess at least the initial point was they're claiming it's blankalizing because of the cleavage or something like that. But still, I don't think it's still. I still don't believe it's warranted. Um, in a follow up tweet, they finished, in my opinion, IMO, it's only blankalizing if you make it blankalizing. The edit was only made because Sombrella likes Honkai Impact, not because they want to blankalize Ruby. You guys are ignoring the obvious. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a cross promotional deal that she's doing there. And and again, I think anytime these people go this route, you almost have to wonder if it's more projection than anything else. If these people are projecting something onto this that maybe, but my big argument here with all this is that they keep saying that it's blankalizing a minor, but in the world that Ruby is from, who says she's a minor? Okay, she might be a minor in the majority of America. She might be a minor in some parts of the world, but in but I don't believe she'd be considered a minor in 38 states in the DC of Columbia. I don't think she'd be considered a minor in Canada. I think she'd be considered a minor in the UK or in Japan. In fact, I think Japan, the age of consent is as young as 15. That's one of the things I've heard before. So, or I've researched before. Some people can't stand that. But, anyways, so to finish this article off. Finally, the user Achilles Maldi gave some words of encouragement. She looks great. Keep up the good work. And for those people complaining, just remember they then shared a they then shared a meme that told critics to calm down. Let's see. Oh, look at that meme. Look at that meme. Calm down, son. It's just a drawing. You guys see that? Look at that meme. Look at that meme. Oh man, look at that meme. Oh boy. Calm down, son. It's just a drawing. Oh, the minds of some people. Ichimayen. Oh, the okay. And I guess here's a reference to Hero Hey here. The backlash against Umbrella was also covered by anime YouTuber Hero Hey, who stated that it wouldn't be the Ruby community without trying to bully someone under the guise of "I'm just doing my virtue signaling." As of writing, Umbrella has not responded directly to her detractors, instead opting to continue creating Ruby X Honkai Impact Third mashup edits. Um, what do you think of the Ruby crossover edit? Let me know. Well, I think it's fine, and yeah, it's good that she's just trying to continue on and just ignore these fools. It's good that she's just trying to ignore these fools. It's like this is kind of foolish to get this upset over it. It's not even really that bad. It's not like right. I know some like we saw some of the stuff that came out a couple days ago, right? You guys remember some of that stuff? Okay. Can't say that better myself. I mean, what the meme or what I've been saying? Basically, my underlying point from this is who says she's a minor in the world she comes from? She may be considered an adult in the world she comes from, and therefore their point is moot. So that's the that's the point where they seem to be projecting. But anyways, I gotta slide off here for a moment. So now on to the next story here, and we're gonna get into the comic stories. Got a couple comic stories here to look through. A couple of releases that are coming out. Okay. So first off here, new Star Trek Voyager series starring Seven of Nine announced. Now, when they say series, I believe they mean a comic book series, not a. And excuse me. Okay. IDW Publishing announced a brand new Star Trek Voyager series starring Seven of Nine. The four-issue miniseries is titled Star Trek Voyager Seven's Reckoning and is written by Dave Baker with illustrations by Angel Hernandez and colors by Rhonda Pattison. Let's look at this. $3.99 for the issue one cover A. So I guess they're gonna have some variant covers. Interesting artwork on that, huh? Look at that. Excuse me, by the way, because I just burped. Let's see. Let's see if you guys are saying anything yet. Everything. Okay. Ah, okay, so here we go. According to a press release from IDW, the series will see the USS Voyager encounter a damaged alien ship deep in the Delta Quadrant. When what at first seems to be a simple repair mission becomes much more complicated for Seven of Nine as she becomes ensnared by an ancient conflict, one that puts her newfound humanity to the test. Baker expressed his excitement about getting to write the series stating, as a lifelong Star Trek fan, being able to play my small part in advancing the ideals of a better tomorrow means the world to me. I hope that doesn't mean some of the recent garbage that's come out in the last couple of years here, 2 or 3 years here. I hope that he's talking about everything Enterprise and before, based on the original content. Um, he added, "This plays directly into why I wanted to write the book to begin with. To put it simply, the stories we tell one another matter, and the stories we tell ourselves matter most of all." Editor Chase Moritz um, added his own thoughts. After the amazing response to our Voyager one shot set in the Mirror universe, we're thrilled to return to the Delta Quadrant for a full 4 issues. Moritz then praised Baker, Hernandez, and Patterson's talent, saying, "Dave Baker is a talented writer and huge Trek fan with a great understanding of the characters. Angel Hernandez, who has wowed fans with his work on Star Trek, Green Lantern, and Picard Countdown, keeps getting better and better. And Rhonda Patterson um, will bring her unique palette to an all new alien species that we think fans are going to love. Um, we have a great crew and can't wait for people to see where we're going. The miniseries will have at least 3 covers. The main cover, cover A, will be by artist Angel Hernandez. That was the cover we saw at the beginning of the article there. One with what looks like 7 of 9 and Captain Janeway back to back with each other, facing away from each other. Um, Cover B will feature a cast photo of 7 of 9 as portrayed by Jerry Ryan. The third cover will be a retailer incentive cover by Jeffrey Vereg. Vereg expressed his excitement about doing the covers for the series, writing, "This is a dream. I am equally excited and honored to be working on my favorite franchise of all time, Star Trek." 7 of 9 helms new Star Trek Voyager comic book miniseries from IDW. Oh, okay. Hear that? Oh, that must be a either something to that point. The series is expected to hit comic book shelves in November. So, what do you guys think of that? I like to imagine every time Mike goes off screen, he takes a shot. Um, I don't. Well, first off, I don't drink alcohol. First off, um, I go off screen though to do things that probably wouldn't look that great on camera. You know, so I do it because there's certain things you guys probably don't need to see me doing. So I'm trying to be courteous, and so I never figured out how to do the whole avatar thing or what have you. Um, Anyways, so that's 3 stories down, 3 stories down, and one more to go. Um, another story about a release. And look at that picture right there. Marvel Comics announces remake and deconstruction of Jack Kirby's externals. Um, okay, so Marvel Comics just announced a remake and deconstruction of Jack Kirby's Eternals from writer Kieron Gillen and artist Asad Ribic. In a blog post announcing the new series, Marvel Comics um, Marvel Comics describes the series as a brand new vision of Jack Kirby's classic Marvel creation in Eternals 1. Gillen would then declare he's remaking the series. He explained, I said if I was ever to do a book again at Marvel, it would have to be something I've never done before. This is exactly that. He added, this is me teaming up with literally my favorite artist of the epic, taking one of those lightning storm Kirby visions and remaking it to be as new as the day it was forged. So here's one of the shots. Um, let's see. Um, Gillen then described what he plans to show off in Eternals, um, while Esad makes whole worlds on the page. I'm applying all the skills I've developed when I was away. It's a lot. It's everything. There's enough scale packed in here that I believe that when you look at the comic, you'll see the pages slightly bulge. Isn't that what every comic book reader wants? Like pages bulging, like almost calling out to you, wanting you, asking you to be part of it. Sorry, had to let my pooches out. Then they went crazy. I think a raccoon was nearby. Yeah, dogs will hunt. Dogs will hunt. Uh, let me see. Okay. He continues. Essentially, eternal has to mean never going out of style, which means we're aiming for instant classic. Also, fight scenes, horror, human drama, emotions, explosions, comics. Marvel Comics would conclude their blog post describing the series as an unpredictable journey that will change everything you thought you knew. Dylan would provide further details in his newsletter explaining that the reason he was lured back to Marvel was because he's not burned out anymore. He would also write that he had an itch to return. Planning Clover um, for a while your superhero bit of your brain works. Plus, I've kind of been missing it a bit. Seeing old peers and people who came after me tear things up is a delight. Oh boy! And you do get an itch to get involved. Well, what I'm hoping for Marvel's sake is that when they mean deconstructing it, I hope it's not some like code word for we're going to push SJW agenda because that's what we want to do. That's what I hope is not happening here. At this point, I'm done with Marvel and DC. Yeah. Like for me, I still like to go back and read the old, the old comics from like the golden age and the silver age, and just reconstruct the. If I ever do get to a point where I go back and in my head, I reconstruct the universe in my head, multiverse, and get through like Final Crisis and Infinite Crisis, or I'm sorry, Crisis on Infinite Earths and Infinite Crisis and Final Crisis. What I would then do is just in my own head, just constructing, just construct the DCU from Final Crisis instead of going down the SJW path that these guys have done the last 2 or 3 years. Just do my own thing. They bring some classic back to it in my own head. Let's see. Current day equals garbage. Yeah. Yeah. The SJW push, the agenda pushing is exactly that. He would reiterate that it's an opportunity to do something um, different, something I haven't done yet. He elaborated as in taking a set of um, characters who've been away for a while, deconstructing their engine apart and assembling it and unleashing it. So here's one of the characters that's done, and why you guys are looking at that. I gotta go on. Sorry about that. I'm back now. They dropped character development and story progression for diversity and case. Yeah, it's almost like you get the impression that maybe DC DC and Marvel may be trying to delve into the world of yaoi. Oh boy, I think that's what it is. Boys love whatever. Boys love, well, yaoi and yuri. Yuri, I think, is girls love. But anyways, thirdly, Esad Ribic. I said yes before Esad jumped aboard, but my yes changed to yes the second he did. I expect some yes yelping from you lot when you see more young. Well, depends on how you plan on deconstructing the universe. If it's going to be another agenda pusher, I doubt very seriously people are going to be yes yelping. Okay, so you still haven't got that and don't know what to tell you. As for what fans can expect, Gillen claims the series will leave a significant impact on Marvel Universe. Key facts: it's a clean, accessible book. It's set in the Marvel Universe and will impact it hard, but it's also designed to be picked up by anyone and enjoyed. I wonder what he means by clean, accessible book. What that's supposed to mean. That being the older, um, older interpretation of that, or is that some kind of newer interpretation of that? Um, Plus, it's very much me trying to bring to bear the skill set I've developed when I've been away, especially from Wictive and DIE, and a whole bunch of other things I've been chewing over in terms of things one could do. Added, he added. He then detailed the project includes a huge Bible document and teased that the third issue has something to do to off kilter or something so off kilter, I'm even giving myself side eye. Okay. Along with their blog post, they also released a trailer for the series to their YouTube channel. And of course, the link is here, the article. Based on the trailer, it looks like the series will feature Icarus. He is seen moving towards a giant crystalline structure, and then into what appears to be some kind of portal. Other identifiable characters include Sprite, who gets a redesign with green skin, and Thena, wearing the golden armor and the battle axe. Um, the other characters are a little harder to figure out. The second character shown could be a redesign of Zurus, given the red hair and beard. However, the color scheme is wrong. Zurus wears green, and the pattern is different on his outfit. That's who they're talking about right there. That's kind of a green lime combo color scheme. The other characters that do not pop out to me are the Eternal clad in purple, the other female Eternal clad in red and white, and the black Eternal number one is expected to hit comic book shelves in November. You plan on checking it out? When it hits comic book shelves, what I would understand, I would think that anonymity, you're probably not gonna grab that off the shelves, right? Based on what you said earlier. Uh, yeah. So those are the articles. Those are the articles I decided to cover tonight. I went through four of them, so we're just over the hour mark. So are there any like questions or anything you guys wanna ask? If not, definitely. I guess it's definitely not to what you're not planning on picking up the new Eternals book, right? That basically what you're saying there. Um, anonymity. I'm good. No questions. I'm good on questions. Okay. If you meant to say no questions. How about you, Action Toy Channel? You have any like questions you want to ask or anything you want to follow up with? You excited about the Canadians popping in? If you mean the Knuckleheads, then yes, I'll be having them on Friday for the interview. I hope you guys will help spread the word and get some more people in here and get everybody in on time. So we can have the full allotment of time. Um, excuse me one moment. I gotta step on. So, anyways, I am very excited. It'll be my first interview on my channel here. And this is going to be, again, this is going to be more of a laxed interview. I'm not really going to like. We're not going to probably be talking about any of the like harder stuff right now. For this first interview, I'm basically gonna be asking them about their convention experiences, both as attendees and con runners, and then we'll do a niche talk segment, and then I'll do, of course, this day in niche history and get their commentary on that. So that's how the show will probably be run. I hope you guys will be able to be here and get other people to be here too for it, because I am very excited about having them come in, to for the interview. It's my first interview on my channel here, so interview slash panel. I hope to be able to get more YouTubers on, in the years in the times to come. Well, let's see. Don't know what time I'll get off, but I'll be in. Yeah, I know you kind of can't always be here on time, but I do appreciate the fact that you do come in anyways. So thank you, Anonymity, and Action Toy Channel as well. Thank you guys for coming in. Yeah, Batgoat hasn't been able to make it. Gelf came in once, but I haven't seen Gelf back. But then again, it's like middle of the day where he's at over there in Australia. So, like, I think 11 or 12 o'clock when I start over in Australia. So, I know it's probably a little more difficult for him. Um, but yeah, so hour and 13 minutes. Okay. Well, I guess then, not, unless you guys have anything else you want to add, or think I'll get to the this day in each history. Unless you guys have any more questions or have anything else you'd like to add. Yay! I guess anonymity wants to get right into the this day in each history. Yeah, I don't know if you were around the other night, or you stuck around long enough to catch that part of it. So just to give you kind of a heads up, Action Toy Channel. Um, One of the things I do as a kind of a concluding segment for my is I do what I call the this day in each history. And what it is like, as you know, today is August the 19th. So I take a look back at this day in niche history, look back on things in the realm of niche, including anime, cartoons, comics, manga, and pro wrestling, whatever I can find. So I hope you'll enjoy some of these little tidbits. And of course, free getting myself a little tongue twisted there. Feel free to comment on anything that I present. Let me just 2000, 2005, and 2006. Okay. So we got a bit of a full plate for you guys. Because I can close that out because I was there. Okay. All right. So let me find the first little tidbit here. Let's see now. Let's see. There we go, right there. Okay, so nice little reminiscing here. On this date, on this date 40 years ago, back in 1980. Okay, yay! Okay, long before the SJW garbage. On this date, back in 1980, 40 years ago today, Moon Knight #1 was set out. The first issue of Moon Knight by Marvel Comics was put out on the newsstands on this date in 1980, 40 years ago today. The story, The Macabre Moon Knight. So again, on this date, 1980, the premiere issue of Moon Knight from Marvel Comics was out on newsstands 40 years ago today. Okay, so now on to the next bit of history. Let's see. Okay, so on this date in the year 2000, former WWF, former two-time WWF United States Tag Team Champion, as well as WWF World Tag Team Champion and WWF International Heavyweight Champion Tony Parisi, also under real name Antonio Pugliese. Let me see. I should probably really look at that to make sure. Antonio Pugliese, Tony Parisi, um, passed away at the age of 59 on this date in 2000. On this date in 2000, former WWF two-time United States Tag Team Champion, former WWF World Tag Team Champion, and former WWF International Heavyweight Champion Tony Parisi passed away on this date in 2000. So he was a big star back in the '70s, not just in the northeastern territory of the WWF, but also up in Canada, up in Montreal as well. Um, so let's see. So now on to the next bit of news. Um, okay, so on this date 15 years ago, in 2005, on the Disney Channel, the Proud Family finished its run on this date in 2005. On this date in 2005, the Proud Family would finish its run on the Disney Channel. It basically detailed the story of Penny Proud and her family. So that happened on this date 15 years ago in 2005. And last but not least, on this date in 2006, 14 years ago today, um, the anime Le Chevalier d'Aeon, literally translated as the Knight of Aeon, um, premiered on Wow Wow on this date in 2006. The anime Le Chevalier d'Aeon premiered on this date in 2006. An interesting little note about Le Chevalier d'Aeon: this was actually based on a real historical figure. Okay, they took some supernatural twist with the animes, but there actually was a Dayon de Beaumont, but he was believed to be a transgendered spy for France, and they're dealing, so this this anime and manga took that story and put some twist on it. But on this date, 2006, on Wow Wow, um, it premiered. The anime version of the series premiered. Now we're coming up on 120, 122. Before my time. Are you talking about the Moon Knight comic anonymity? That's the my time. Over here. I remember us talking about this one. And the wrestler. What exactly do you remember us talking about before? I think I'm missing what you're saying there. The Chevalier. Oh, I didn't know if I had mentioned that before on one of the first time I can remember. Oh wait. Oh yeah. I now probably it was probably last week when we were like when we got into some niche talk and I mentioned the Chevalier d'Eon. I just didn't go into too much detail about it, but it is one I think you might want to check out. Just got it's kind of interesting. Got some supernatural elements to it. Um, but anyways, so how did you guys like the stream tonight? How did you guys like the stream tonight? Always good. Enjoyed. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I always love, I always love, passing along information and stuff like that. Um, sometimes depending on how long the articles go, and we went through like four news articles, and also the this day in each history segment, and we're coming up to just about an hour and a half. That's kind of amazing. Um, I said I usually try to aim to have these between an hour and a half, 2 hours. So, all right, guys. Well, unless you have anything you'd like to add or ask, I think I'll close it out for tonight. There's not much more I can think of to talk about. Oh, let me do a couple promos here before I head out. Um, don't forget. Well, as you guys asked me earlier, don't forget this Friday night, and if you guys can help get the word out as well, that'd be appreciated too. This Friday night, I've got the Knuckleheads coming on, Chris and Mr. Hop. They'll be here. Be interviewing them. I'm excited about that. Looking forward to glean from their experiences. And also, don't forget as well. I mean, I don't know if you guys are big Toonami fans or not, but as part of the DC Fandom event, they've been, for the last couple of weekends, they've been doing, they've been showing some Batman movies. This weekend, they're showing Batman Gotham Knights and Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. So you guys might want to check those out. Now, granted, The Dark Knight Returns anime movies, they're little SJW ish, but, or at least part one was. Um, but, but if you want, check them out. Year one, I really liked. I thought that was pretty good. I thought interesting take that even though they called it Batman Year One, they focused on Commissioner Gordon throughout the majority of the film. So, and the Year One storyline is based on the storyline after the immediate storylines after, as a result of the Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline. So, let's see now. Not bad. You have a Twitter. I used to have a Twitter Action Toy channel. I actually, um, I actually deactivated my account back in December because I was tired of getting caught up in all the stupidity, getting involved in some of those back and forths with people, just getting me too upset and too angry, and really didn't want to do that. But if you check the link below, I do have a Discord. You're more than welcome to direct message me there or contact me there and join if you'd like there. Also, of course, as with many YouTube channels, there's a discussion section on my channel if you want to drop comments there as well. And as you guys know, also in the links below, I'm still promoting a bunch of different dub companies. You guys check them out. Support them where you can. Um, and also still promoting Vic and Tug's, still promoting Vic's GoFundMe as well as Tug's Indiegogo project. You guys, if you never feel like you have to give, if it's on your heart to do so, you have the means to do so. Please consider giving. If you've already donated or given, please consider doing it again. And if you can't, you can still help out the link by sharing the link. Still help out the cause by sharing the links. Because sharing is caring. You never know. Maybe somebody will see it and maybe be inspired to help out. So. And as always, if you guys like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. As I always look forward to the conversation with you guys. I always look forward to when you guys come on to the streams here. So if we can just get more people in here and get some more conversations going, that'd be great. Oh yeah, the DC event. You seen Apocalypse War? I haven't. I gird it Twitter can be a huge trash fire. Yeah, basically what it comes down to is Action Toy Channel. I appreciate my mental stability too much to continue to get. I mean, I recently have thought about maybe I have thought a little bit about maybe um you know getting a new account or whatever, just because sometimes it's easier to contact people because a lot of people that I may want to contact are on Twitter. But then as I start like adding, adding, following people, adding people, it's one of those things. Do I really want to run the risk of possibly getting caught up in all the drama and all the BS? Do I really want to be banging heads with people like BT Underdog and and the schizophrenic and the blue-haired whale and a lot of them? Do I really want to really be banging my heads with those people? I mean, it's not really worth it. Yeah, but anyways, my original Twitter got shadow banned. I took a few months away before I made a new one. Yeah. Well, when I deactivated my account, it was with the intent not to go back, and I didn't really see a point because the thing is, I have autism, so sometimes even if I know I probably shouldn't, there are times I'll respond to tweets that maybe I shouldn't respond to, or get back and forth with people. And then when you start getting back and forth with people, you start getting aggravated. It's like one of those things where you sometimes have to just agree to disagree and just acknowledge the fact that you're not going to change their mind. And to continue to try, it's just a waste of time. But sometimes you get so caught up in the heat of the battle, it's like, ugh. Never had a Twitter account. And I guess you don't have Discord either, Anonymity, right? That's what you were telling me the other day, or that you don't like Discord. You don't have Discord account either. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we got past the hour and a half mark here. So, again, if you guys can get the word out, see if we can get some more people here. Every night, of course, but especially Friday night when I have the Knuckleheads in. I'm hoping that maybe they'll bring some of their fan base over as well. Um, So thank you guys again, and I hope to see you tomorrow night for some more niche news coverage. Um, yeah, that and it's probably be easier in some ways to contact like some of the other like YouTubers and some of the people I might want to have on guests too. So that's a consideration there. Action Toy Channels. All right, guys. Well, thanks again, and I bid you all good night. Good night. Sleep tight. Get some good rest. And hopefully I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Bye.